Hi, welcome to this part of my review featuring the SLA Industries 2nd edition core rulebook. If you haven't seen the other parts of my review, featuring this splatterpunk noir sci-fi role-playing game, please check out the playlist in the description below. This time we are going to talk about the 9th Division and the Manchines. The 9th Division has moved on leaps and bounds in the 5 years since its inception. Initially formed by the shivers that were left behind after the failed Red Sky project, the 9th Division is now a significant threat, recruiting every disenfranchised individual it can. Based out of the McGill Valleys in Cannibal Sector 1, the division has found its niche in recent years, attracting anyone and everyone that has fallen out of love with SLA Industries, but who is not impressive enough to garner a place within Dark Knight. The 9th is happy to take the desperate and vile leftovers. Many of the recruits will fail, and many will die. The 9th is still led by Captain Fanny, but whether this individual is the founding Fanny is impossible to discern, with other members of the Fanny family ready to don the figurehead's armor should the man at the top fall in battle. There is safety in numbers, and the Fannies number many. Today, the 9th Division includes pretty much every race domicile in Mort City. Humans, especially former shivers, account for well over 90% of the organization, but it is not unknown to see Ebonites, particularly jaded wasters, frothers, and the occasional Wraithen wearing the black and red jester motif. There has even been recent reports of cannibals and advanced carrion within the ranks of the 9th. Frequently, the 9th sends FAME or FM squads into downtown to drive media attention and provoke future recruitment. New recruits form the majority of such squads, and are often led by individuals that have made a name for themselves via the 9th's internal societies. You have complete stats for your typical 9th Division trooper in this section. Then we have the Manchines. These are part of the downtown threats. The Manchines of Mort City are the remnants of the Killa Chassis project that was shelved after a catalog of failures. They were one of SLA Industries' last attempts to master robotics before throwing their all into the more successful biogenetic experiments. Originating from a 6-limbed prototype that was designed as an all-terrain 6-legged gun platform for war worlds, the core artificial brain was patched over and over to try to get it to operate without a controller, resulting in a working batch of prototypes that failed at most of their objectives. The war world tests did result in answers to some of the problems, and the basic framework was revived to form the basis of a more deployable form of expendable worker, a humanoid that could work where it was too dangerous for people. With the robotic police force that Killa Chassis envisioned, the cost of custom-designed deployment vehicles was always a sticking point, along with flexibility and mounted hardware. And this was solved with the simple design of making them fit a human frame, which opened up transport, body armor options, and weaponry. Switching to a bipedal humanoid shape that could pass as human solved more problems than the difficulties it produced, with an added bonus of the hexapod brain being able to accommodate 2 hidden limbs. Now let's talk about the Urbanite Manchines. After the fall of Salvation Tower, Digger took most of the Manchines deployed in the Piper riots into exile in Cannibal Sector 1, but production continued on a later model, fitted with a more independent intelligence and communications system. These Manchines became known as the Urbanite Manchines. As time passed, fewer and fewer Urbanite Manchines returned to SLA Industries, abdicating their responsibilities and going to ground. As they gained their independence, they started to mold themselves to what they saw around them. As the Manchines succumbed to their deeper intelligence routines, protocols that were designed to guide a Manchine through its duties without influencing core decision-making, their priorities skewed to the bizarre. Many of them were obsessed with being seen as human, eliminating anyone who saw through their crude disguises. while others hid away to keep their territory protected. Urbanite Manchines were designed to eventually wear out, as a way to sell more of them. This has not resulted in their demise, but has forced these creatures to adapt to survive. Spare parts taken from other Manchines, either salvaged or killed, has kept them going well past the planned obsolescence. Others have raided factories for parts that are close enough to their broken down organs and limbs, resulting in an unusual variety of monstrous forms, all draped in decaying flesh. And of course you have the stats for these Urbanite Manchines, including their deadly Manchine blades. This concludes this part of the review. In the next part we are going to continue with the downtown threats. The 9th Division is obviously a small, but ever-rising and elite threat, especially since they are targeting the media attention. When it comes to the Manchines, these are very interesting. They look a bit like Terminators obsessed with being human. Well, in a lot of cases. Nonetheless, they may end up stealing parts from other Manchines or even humans in order to look like their idealized form. Thank you for watching this part of the review, and thank you for your likes and your comments. If you have any questions or comments, please let me know. And thank you so much to those of you that are going the extra mile to support the channel. If anyone else wishes to further support the channel, the information on how to do that will be in the description below. Once again, thank you, and see you later.